Greetings fellow traders, this is Max and welcome to my Sunday market analysis where I'm gonna analyze the market and share with you my top trades for the upcoming week. And for this week, I wish I had more pairs to present to you, but unfortunately the market hasn't given me any nice and suitable trade setups for my strategy, so we are only left with 2 pairs for the upcoming week. I have 4 more pairs on my list that I have marked with my yellow marker. Those are pairs from last week which are not featured in this week's list. We will go over that at the end of the video and see how those pairs have performed, so stay tuned for that. Now it's just 2 pairs, so I believe this week's video is not gonna be quite long, but I do not want to lose any more time, so let's start here with the pair NZDJPY. So NZDJPY is presenting me a possible long opportunity. And why is that? Well, we have this area of interest here. The price has been moving around quite a lot and has reacted to. And within this area of interest, we have an 87.0 round psychological level. The price is respecting and reacting to. So what we also have is a big gap here from one of the recent market openings, roughly, was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago actually. So this market gap has been filled now, the price has moved here, so for me this pair is now relatively safe to trade. And why is that? Well, my experience has shown me that whenever there's a market gap happening, and especially really big gaps, the market is trying to fill this gap by just sweeping the price or making a move around this gap to fill it again. And there are still many gaps on a lot of those pairs which haven't been filled yet. And I want to wait for those gaps to be filled in order to trade this pair. So in NZDJPY, this is the case. And now since it recently broke out of this area of interest and around psychological level again here on the daily chart, I want to wait for price now to come back into the zone, sweep a little bit the liquidity down below the round psychological level. It could take 1 to 3 days maybe until the price is here, and if it's then giving me my entry signal for a possible long position and long opportunity, then I want to take this trade here, possibly even rejecting the 50 EMA. So this is going to be my trading plan for NZDJPY. It's also a break and retest trade, even if it's just on a smaller price range. Now my first profit target, ultimately I would like to see price hitting the area here again, even another round psychological level, the 88.88 and maybe 8 round psychological level the price has been respecting, and that would be the ultimate target. But maybe even here, if I get chance to have a good entry, even this recent high here would still give me maybe a 1 to 2.9, 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, which is still really good. Now let's move on to the next pair, which is USDCAD. And on USDCAD, I'm also looking for a possible long opportunity. So we have again an area of interest the price has been respecting here. We've seen it has reacted to that level, and there's even a round psychological level in it, the 1.395 round psychological level. Price has respected the level, and which is why I believe, and I am waiting now for price to come back into the area, sweep the liquidity below, give me the shifter structure, my long entry signal to then open a long position here on USDCAD and profit off of a rising price. Now initially I wanted, as you can see here, I still have my trading plan markers. I wanted the price to have a revert or a correction further down back into the area here, sweep the liquidity and then head upwards. This could still happen, so maybe it will just drop below and then have the retest that I have been anticipating a long time before, or it will have just a retest here and then continue higher. Both scenarios are possible for me. Even the weekly chart, you can see there has been some slow moves in price here, so maybe there will be a bigger correction. If that's the case, maybe it's going to be a stop out, maybe it's not if I do not even get my entry signal, but I will see about that and will patiently wait for price to enter the area and then have the move and the formation that I am looking for. And that's already it for the main pairs of this week's Sunday market analysis. As I said, I wish I had more, but I do not want to force any trades that aren't there just in order to have more trades here. So let's go over some pairs of last week. For example, AUD/JPY. So the plan here was to wait for the price to have a push to the downside again, even into this area, the round psychological level 97 round psychological level, and then give me a shifter structure after this liquidity sweep to then head higher, or just some kind of maybe even hitting this zone here, some kind of higher low on the lower time frame. It did not do that, and this spot here or this price area here would have been way too far away from my initial or from my target zone in order to open a position here, because I would have to put the stop loss quite low, which I do not want. So I kind of missed this trade just because I did not get my entry. It had the move to the upside. I originally wanted to profit off of that move, but the price hasn't given me the chance to open the position here. It is what it is. This will happen in the future many times. It's just something that you have to deal with and learn not to get mad about. So let's have a look at Euro AUD. So my plan on Euro AUD was to wait for a retest of this area, an area of interest. As you can see, price has reacted to it multiple times. We have a round psychological level here, the 1.79 round psychological level. I wanted to see a small liquidity sweep and then a nice shift of structure where the price is indicating a continuation to the upside. It has not happened. We just dropped below the zone and even a little lower. Maybe this will happen next time because I've set a price alarm here. So maybe price is going to do that, have a breakout, a retest, and then continue to the upside. This could be a trade for next week's Sunday market analysis, but I do not believe that this is going to be a trade for the coming week. But if that is the case, my price alarm will be getting triggered. I will have a look at the pair again and then decide on whether I want to take a possible trade here or no. Let us continue with Euro USD. So in Euro USD, I had two ideas here. The first idea was to have a long trade and wait for the price to sweep some of the liquidity and give me again the shifter structure, my entry signal, to then buy Euro USD and profit off of a continuation to the upside. The second idea was to wait for a clean breakout, retest, and then sell Euro USD to profit off of a falling price. Neither of those two trades has played out so far, which is why I will just stay away from the pair now and wait for it to give me a clear direction. A clear direction could be something like maybe this, or maybe a move like this, a strong breakout, a retest, and then a continuation. So that would indicate a continuation to the upside for me. Alternatively, a short position could occur here now, or a stronger move to the downside. If it does that, I do not think I want to take this trade because structure wise of the price movement, it doesn't look really bearish to me. So we have a lower low, a correction, we have again a lower low, a correction. Now this could be a higher low, which structure wise is not really a great bearish sign. It's not something that you want to see in a downtrend, which is why I will skip this trade in this pair now, unless it's going to be a possible long position. And I'm going to set an alarm here, so just that I am aware about the next move of this pair whenever it decides to break out of this area. And now the last pair of this recap is going to be GBP NZD. And I have to say, on GBP NZD, I will be passively eyeing this pair even in the coming week. And the reason is that it could give me an entry down here, but I will talk about that in a minute. Let's just have a look at the original trading plan, which was to profit off of a retest of this area of interest here and the round psychological level, 2.33 round psychological level. I wanted to see a small liquidity grab here, and then of course again the shifter structure, my entry signal to buy GBP NZD and profit off of a climbing price here. It did not give me those entry signals and it did not have the move that I was looking for. So right now it just continued further to the downside, but we are getting close to another area of interest and a round psychological level, the 2.31 round psychological level. So why am I looking at this pair now? Well, on the weekly chart we are still in a clear uptrend. You can see that we are creating new highs, we have corrections, and now we have a bigger correction down into the area where the price is right now. So on the daily chart we have a really neutral day. Right now this is not a clear sign for me to open a long position. What I want to see is I want to see a further push down. I want to see a sharp correction and then some sort of higher low to then even consider opening a position. Right now, I'm just waiting for price to get near the position and see a reaction, for example, like this. Or it could be like this, even though this price explosion would not give me an ideal entry and I would have to skip this trade. But this is something that I am looking for in the zone. So it's still on my list, but it's still marked as a yellow pair because I'm not a big fan of those type of trades, but if it's giving me the chance, and I believe GBP NZD is really good in maintaining those constant trends, and this could actually be a trade that will work out. So I will have a look now and then on GBP NZD for a possible new long position. But right now last week, I just avoided this loss by not opening the position and just waiting for price to give me the entry signal, which it did not. So I avoided this loss completely. And that's already it for this week's Sunday market analysis. I have analyzed the other pairs too and set price alarms there. They just do not give me any great trade setups right now. If any of those price alarms that I've set is getting triggered, then I will have a look at the respective pair again and decide whether there's a suitable trade for my strategy or not. Whenever that happens, I will share the trade idea in my free Telegram channel. You can join at any time. I will put the link to it into the video description. In this channel, I also share my actual running trades, my trade entries and exits, and share regular trade updates with you. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below and I will try to answer your questions. Thank you for watching. I wish you a successful trading week. Remember to manage your risk properly and see you next Sunday.